I wanted to have a bright coloured display to use as a name badge for some events and indeed these videos. I've talked about coding for these displays and built a PCB. There is one feature I've not talked about though, the SD card reader. Reading content from the SD card on these RP2040 displays would be really useful, and it provides space for large image assets that I just don't have on the Raspberry Pi Pico. Remember, a Pico or Pico W only has 2 meg of flash. There are some RP2040 boards out there with more though. Using the SD card is not only a good use of space, but also more flexible than the onboard flash to manage updates to the content I want to display on the TFT display. Hi, I'm John, your concierge to the world of the Raspberry Pi Pico, robotics, IoT and other fun tech. Remember to subscribe and join the community. This is my 3-minute summary on how to use the SD card as a file system with the Raspberry Pi Pico. If you have time, why not check out the full video? I've done a few videos already using the RP2040 TFT display. The display comes with a SD card reader. Both the display itself and the SD card reader have SPI interfaces. I'm going to place the display on SPI 1 and the SD card on SPI 0 for the Pico for this video. I fabricated a PCB with this configuration to make things a bit easier. To read from the SD card, I'm going to use libraries from FreeRTOS for the FAT file system. This has been ported to the Pico to work with the SD cards by Carl, so I was able to quickly adapt his library to my projects. To set the library up so it knows where the hardware for the SD card is, I need to create this data structure. Then we can initialize and mount the SD card. To decode the PNG file, I've chosen to use the libspng library. This can decode a buffer image in one go, or do this in a stream model that they call progressive. I use this progressive strategy as to expand a 320 by 240 image at 32 bits per pixel takes 300 kilobytes of RAM, more than we have on the Pico. I can do this a line at a time. You can see in this demo that I'm reading and writing to the display a line at a time. The screen updates just a little too slow. This is due to the speed of the SPI interface to pull data from the SD card. There is another interface to the SD card called SDIO that I think is faster, but it requires a redesign of the board. There's also another issue that will only work with small SD cards. I've only been able to get this to work with 16 gig as my biggest card. This is fine for my needs, but I'm not entirely sure I understand this limitation. Over a few videos, I've shown the functions and connectivity for this TFT display. For a 2.4-inch display that cost me less than £8, this is really quite functional. There is always more one can do though. I'm a little disappointed that I could not play full screen animations on the display though. I'm just not getting the throughput from the SD card to be able to achieve this. It's possible that a move to SDIO would resolve this. May also solve the issue with having larger cards not being recognised. That would mean ditching the SD card reader on the TFT display and building a separate module. The bones of a new project perhaps. If this video or any of my videos helped you out, why not buy me a virtual cup of coffee or lunch to say thank you? There's now that super thanks feature live on my channel. Just click the button. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then of course hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next video. Bye bye for now.